Welcome to the Utah PTA Pulse Podcast. My name is Corey Fairholm. I am the immediate past president for Utah PTA and the host of the podcast. And Angelique?
I'm Angelique Ado, the VP of Advocacy. I got it this time.
And I'm Aimee Warren. I am the Family Life Commissioner.
And she's our special guest.
Oh, thanks for coming tonight.
You're welcome.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, we're
Angelique,
excited.
you got a question?
I do.
Yeah.
So with the holidays coming up, I thought it would be really good to ask, what's your favorite type of pie?
Hi.
I always like to, when I sub, I always like to put all the different types of pies on the board, and then the kids can come and mark their favorites, and it's surprising. What is everybody's favorite?
Mine's probably pumpkin.
I do love pumpkin pie.
With lots of whipped cream on. Gotta have it on the top, lots of it.
Mine's probably a Dutch apple pie. There's a very specific Marie Callender's one that I buy every year. That's an apple pie, or a chocolate silk pie.
Oh yeah, those are good too.
Ooh, chocolate silk, yeah.
Emily learned how to make this triple berry pie this last year, and we did a sugar crust. It's called a pâte sucré, and it's so good, so good.
I need that recipe.
Yeah, it's good.
Sounds delicious.
I will unpack it next week.
Okay, yeah, unpack it. That works. Sweet. I can't believe the holidays are here, but
I know, what the heck?
I know.
I'm still
November
in September.
Yeah, me too.
Right?
I'm still in the summertime, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I do not know where this year has gone either.
I know it's gone by fast.
Thanksgiving's next week, right? I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know when this is going to go out live, but.
Yeah, it is next week.
It is.
It's crazy.
So, Aimee, Utah PTA Family Life Commissioner.
Yep.
Tell us about it.
So my role as Family Life Commissioner, I like to kind of describe it as everything outside of school hours. That's
way to
not
explain it.
Mm-hmm.
that's not directly health or safety related, but even those we have a lot that kind of sometimes we're hey, can you handle that? Yeah. So I deal with foster care and adoption, after school programs, early childhood education. And just encouraging family time and all that kind of stuff.
So, how does that relate to the Utah PTA mission?
Well, we are advocating for all children and all families. We're really trying to advocate for families to advocate for themselves. Mm-hmm. So as we're encouraging all of these things, children exist outside of the hours of school.
Really?
And I know, right? And so we also have to advocate, as much as we are really passionate about our education stuff, and that's actually where I got started. We got to advocate for the whole life, and a child's life is a system, and we have to work with the whole system. And so that's how we are advocating for children and for families, to be empowering the families to advocate for themselves.
Well, and when their outside life is suffering, the school suffers too. That outside life is more important. Yeah, more important.
Yep.
Well, but many things happen, and it also determines how the parents engaged and how they get engaged in their family life and what happens doing homework or follow up with the teachers and all of that.
Yep.
So it's dealing with that as well. So
I mean, one of the coalitions I sit on is with Parents Empowered, one of our partners, and they're all about preventing underage drinking, and how that's that's an important place for us to be a part of that conversation, right? How are we preventing underage drinking? Because if we're not discouraging that and helping encourage families, then we're not necessarily promoting underage drinking. Lost the train of thought there. But if a student's drinking, they're not going to be doing well in school. Mm-hmm. They're stunting there's all sorts of research.
But there's so much research that says when a parent is engaged in their education and is part of the whole aspect, then a child is more successful in their education and will go further
Yep.
and graduate, and that's what we want.
And my degree is actually in Marriage and Family Studies.
Oh, awesome.
And that is something that we talked about in one of my like first semesters after I changed my degree, about like the number one predictor of a child's success is their parents' involvement in their schooling. And I pretty much have like made that my life at this point. And just, I've seen it in my own kids' lives. You know, when I walk down the hallways, the kids at school know who I am.
Yeah.
Even today, my daughter asked me, hey, could you give my friend a ride home? And I was like, yeah, she's on the way. And she's like, what about her next door neighbor? I'm like, well, I don't actually know her next door neighbor, but sure. Like, and the other girl in the car was like, yeah, this is Aimee. She's the best PTA mom ever. I'm like, yeah, I am. I was like, I'm awesome. And she knows that because I'm involved in the schools.
Okay. That's awesome. Do you have a special event happening right now?
I do. So it's an ongoing event. It is called Table Talk Tuesday. So if you watch our social media for Utah PTA, every Tuesday there will be a post and I'll have a different topic. So sometimes you sit down at the dinner table and all you know how to ask your kids is like, what'd you learn at school today? And they say, well, nothing. And I was like, I'm sure you learned something. You know, I don't know how many of you have had this conversation every night. I know I have. So every week I'm just sharing a different topic, and some of them I'm sharing with research. I don't know if I just posted it or if it's next week, so it might be a spoiler alert.
We like those.
We talked about like why it's important to be in school and like what advantage do you have in being in school, and then sharing some statistics about attendance. Or some of the other ones we did. One of the first ones we did was how can we be more intentional with our family time? And I found when I asked my kids that, they had all sorts of great ideas. I was like, yes, we should do that. And just kind of starting the conversation at the dinner table and encouraging family time, whether it's at the dinner table or in the car.
So it's given those topics that families can discuss at the table, right?
Yep.
And they say that when there's, when you have a family dinner together,
It's like 33% more likely to do something. Now that I said that, I remembered those numbers and not where that statistic was going. But it was in our first Table Talk Tuesday a few weeks ago. So if you want to figure out what a statistic I was talking about, you can go back and look.
and probably it's, how those kids know that they're, part of something and they can be heard and that they can, express, and it's just not, so how was your day? It was fine, but no, it's reaching out and having them do some more talking, and I like that.
Sometimes when we get together with our family, like whether you do it for dinner, breakfast, lunch, it doesn't really matter, but we are, and I'm guilty of it too, but it's just like,
you're on your phone, yeah.
I'm totally guilty of it because we're all just like, I've had a long day, like I just want to sit here and I did it to my husband in the car today. He was like wanting to talk, and I was like, I just need to get in the groove. Like, don't talk to me, and but we're like losing so much benefit, when we're not engaging as a family. And it's so much more than just like questions about their education and how they're doing in school, but like you learn so much. You learn how to disagree with each other. You learn how to share your opinions, and hopefully take some other opinions too that aren't your own, and hopefully you're learning how to not like scream and yell at each other.
You're learning those communication skills, which is so vital because, like you said, Angela, we're always on our phone. Yeah. And what are you going to miss in 15 minutes? Nothing, right? So spend time with the family and learn that communication skill and talking. Yeah. And getting it out.
Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
Look at your phone to get your table topic and then put it away. That was when we were kind of working on our image that goes along with our Table Topic Tuesdays. The first one that came back, I was like, oh yeah, this is great. And then I looked at it, I was like, although the family sitting at the table in this picture, one of them's on a tablet, one of them's on maybe we need a different picture. So we found a new picture, but it's just so important to unplug for a few minutes and just be together. And sometimes that's not possible. Sometimes you're running here and fro and there and the other place, and all the time you have is in the car. I mean, I don't know how many other mothers feel like a taxi cab, but that's what I feel like. And sometimes that's actually when I have the deeper conversations is in the car when we're just driving from place to place and they can't escape.
But then you can also bring those topics
Yep.
to the car.
Yep.
Yeah.
And have that opportunity to talk to them there.
Yep. So
I
just
love that.
talk with your
Yeah.
families on Tuesday. You
Yeah.
can also do it other days besides Tuesday.
It's
but-
just it's just about being more intentional with your
Yep.
time,
Yeah.
you know. And I feel like we all get into these like autopilot mode, you know, like, oh, I'm making dinner or whatever. Like, I'm gonna feed the kids. I'm gonna put dinner on the table. But then it's just like, and especially as mothers, I feel like we get really overwhelmed by all the things that we have to like worry about and think about and manage, and whether you're like working mom or stay-at-home mom or both, like it's hard, you know. And so I think I love that the Table Talk Tuesday is like a reminder, you know, like this is important. You're making memories,
And kids aren't they're gonna remember that time, right? They're not gonna remember, you know, I saw this show or I did this or what was on my phone, but they're gonna remember the time that they were able to talk to mom and dad
yeah.
and
And
have
didn't I
it.
say that to you earlier today? I was like, come back to me in 20 years and report back that your child came back from therapy and complained about that. Like, you're going to be okay.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's what they're gonna remember
But they're going to remember. They're going to be in therapy and be like, oh, I'm not in therapy because... No,
because they were able
because
to say,
we got family time. I don't know. I just kind of assume my children will be in therapy, but...
I mean, right? They all will be. Like, we're experimenting on our children, right? Like, we don't know how to be parents.
So this is gonna be every Tuesday.
Yes. And it's live. It's active every Tuesday.
From now until
till-
forever.
Oops. It ends, yeah. Like at least the end of the school
I
year.
didn't know if it was like it.
I mean,
yeah,
technically my term ends at the end of the school year, so on June 30th. So it'll be the next commissioner's decision if it keeps going.
But I
But
love it. I think it's.
I think it's
idea.
great.
So at utahpta.org, they can find it there. Also on the
no, it's not actually on the website.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
Which maybe we should put it on the website.
Good idea.
But it is on the Utah PTA Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
Yes. I was looking for a nod over there from our producer. And it goes Tuesday mornings. And hopefully I don't forget to send it to Mike so that he can post it. If it's late, it's my fault. So,
Well, that's good. Mike will remember.
yeah.
I think that's such a great idea.
I think it's great. And I'd love it to get some engagement on the posts. Like, once you talked about it on Tuesday, to come back to the post and be like, "This is what we talked about." That would be fun.
Yeah,
Then
that
more
would be
people,
awesome.
more people could see the posts, and that would be great. But
And they can give ideas. Can
yeah,
they
good
give
ideas.
Okay.
And hey, this topic went off the walls, and like, I mean, that happened to the Young Women's activity for my daughter the other day at church, and they were like, "Yeah, share stories about a loved one," and then it was like, here's a lesson on suicide. It was like, okay, that was not what we were ready for. So sometimes, maybe a topic will go off the rails and you can share
But
that.
then you can, yeah.
Then we know.
That's awesome.
One thing I love about this too is that Aimee has a committee, and her committee is helping her with this.
Yes.
Which is awesome, and that's how we want like our committees in PTA, and I think committees just in general. Good
Work.
committees have everybody working and doing part or taking their part. I don't know. My brain's tired.
Which that has been an important part for me because I was kind of hesitant to do the family mealtime initiative because like Angelique tried to start a family mealtime initiative last year and I was like, so what did you do? And she's like, I don't know. I didn't figure out what I was doing. And it just seemed like it was all on her. And I was like, and so when I had my first commission meeting at the beginning of the year, I was like, so, what do you want to do? And I had some ideas of where I wanted to go with the commission. And I was like, well, last year they were working on this, and everyone in my commission was like, yeah, let's do that. I was like, okay, if we're going to do this, like, I'm not going to be in charge of this.
But they all seem interested in working.
But they all seem really excited, and we're going to try to use some of our partners a little more. And
I think that's a great idea.
we did Kindness Week was last week, and one of our partners is One Kind Act a Day, and he's on one of their guys is on my commission, and so he was like, "Hey, Kindness Day is whatever day it was. We could do it about that week, the kindness that week." I was like, "That's great," and so I referenced Kindness Day and said, "What's something kind someone did for the day?" today. And so it's been a nice way to just involve my commission members and then some of our community partners. And
So that's part of the mission, involving those community
Yeah.
partners to advocate for all children. So that's great. Can people still join your commission?
yes, you can join my commission at any time. I would love to have more help. If you'd like to join my commission, there is a form that you have to fill out. And I think I used to know what the link was, but also you can just shoot me an email at Aimee@utahpta.org, and it's AIMEE at utahpta.org, because I spell my name fun. So you should be able to get in contact with me there, and if for some reason that shoots you back because you can't spell my name right, that's okay. You could probably send an email to kids@utahpta.org, and they'll send you my direction. So
That'd be great. That's awesome. So they can do that and get involved. And
we'd love to have more help. We're working on our content calendar to kind of plan things a couple months out. So
yeah, that's great. That's awesome.
It's so great.
So with the session coming up, any bills that you know are coming up?
I've been watching interim, and I've not seen a ton. There was a few things at the beginning of interim dealing with adoption tourism that I found fascinating, but they didn't open a bill file yet that I've seen. So I'm really just kind of watching to see what happens.
Okay.
And the policy project is
The policy project,
they're gonna
yes.
try to tackle
Yes.
affordable child care.
Yes, Policy Project has announced their policy for actually not just this year, but they're doing affordable childcare. So I'm sure we'll see some stuff from them, and
Okay.
we'll continue to work with them and on that, and we'll see what the session holds.
Great, you're on
I'm
it.
a little nervous, but I'm excited.
You're gonna do fabulous. You're gonna be awesome up there.
I'm just getting nervous because it's like close now.
I know.
Yeah, once you do the holidays,
It's like-
then
I know. Then it's
like
like here.
it's like 3 weeks later.
It's like most people are like, oh yeah, after the holidays things will calm down. I'm like, for you. Call me in March. And then it's May, and then it's, call me now.
But I mean, and that's the important thing about PTA is that we're up there advocating
Yes.
on the Capitol, and I think people need to know that we are watching all the bills.
It's actually one of my favorite things
Okay.
about being on the PTA advocacy team is getting to be up there and being in the know and keeping track of all the things as much as we can of what's happening. And I mean, I started on the advocacy team on our LAC, on our legislative action committee. Yeah.
Advocacy committee.
Was it action committee at some
Yeah.
point?
was
It
before.
was.
Okay, and then I keep
now we
thinking it's
switched to
advocacy,
advocacy, yeah.
and then I keep like second guessing
Yeah.
myself, and
So it's
anyway,
advocacy committee.
that's how I started, and I was like, well, that's cool, and then here I am, a commissioner.
So there you go. There you go. There's
Yeah.
a plug for you, Angela.
Join LAC. It's a
join
fun time.
LAC.
Yeah, it really is great. And
Email Angeli at Utah PTA to join
we've
that one.
really changed like the format this year of LAC, and I hope it's good.
I mean, I've not been able to go yet this year because I've had a conflicting meeting because I'm also a council president, and last year was that, hallelujah. I mean, I love my council, but it's a lot at one time. And that's when my principals are available to me, is when LAC has been. So I'm excited for when it switches from Wednesdays to Tuesdays. No. Yes?
It'll always be on Wednesday. Yeah,
It-
tell
it's
us when it
the
is.
time switches.
The time switches. That's
Yeah,
what
the
switches.
time switch.
It switches from being at 10 to 12. And so my meeting will be over. So that'll be good.
Yeah. So
I'm excited.
currently for LAC we meet the fourth Wednesday, except this month is this week the fourth week? I don't know, but we're doing it this week. Doesn't really matter because you're gonna see this later anyway. But it's the fourth Wednesday of the month from 10 to noon. But then when the session starts, we meet every Wednesday at 12 o'clock, 12 to 2, and we switch the time because that's when legislators have a break. And so we're hoping to get legislators on this year so that they'll have that time. And we're also hoping that people will come up to the Capitol and be more involved, so that they know PTA is there. PTA.
So what can they do? What if they're totally afraid? Because when I was brand new, I was like, I'm so afraid of the Capitol. Could they
So I
follow
think
you around?
you could totally follow us around. I think the best thing to do when you're like, I have no idea what to do, is to just go. Just go, tour the building so you kind of know where the chambers are and where some of the offices are, and then be like, okay, I know where I'm going. Now I'm gonna be like, I want to go watch the general session in the House at 10 o'clock, and then you just go. Like, part of it is just being there, and I think that's like, we're all like, I don't know what to do, and do I need to like testify, or do I need to like whatever? Just go. Like,
I think a good way to start too is like, if you're not like, I don't want to go tour the Capitol, that's, or like go with your fourth grader or whatever grade at your school goes.
Totally.
Pick something that you're interested in. So like in my advocacy journey, I was like, I need to be involved. And I was like, what can I be involved in? And it was the year that full day kindergarten was being voted on, and I had a half day kindergartner that needed to be at school because she was driving me crazy and was too smart for her own good and just needed school. And so I became really passionate about full day kindergarten. So I started out by like, oh, what's happening with this one bill, this one topic? And this was, I think I was on LAC at the time, but it was before I was really getting involved in commissions and stuff. But I just went and listened to the committee meeting that they were talking about it. And I did meet someone else from a different organization that was working on full day kindergarten, that invited me up to the Capitol. And that's actually where I met Chris, our previous advocacy VP, who was the Family Life Commissioner at the time, actually. And little did I know that those things. And started like, oh, I can be more involved through PTA. But I went and I listened to a committee meeting. And then the next time, because I'd listened to one, I'd been there, the woman I was working with was like, well, you could testify yourself if you wanted to. And the committee meeting was at 10 a.m. Maybe 9 a.m. It was probably 9 a.m. And my daughter had PM kindergarten. And I was like, hey, I got to find someone to babysit for her. Babysitter. And I was like, you know what? This is a committee meeting about full day kindergarten. I'm just going to bring her with me. So I brought her with me, and she did not speak into the microphone, but she had prepared a statement that I shared for her.
Oh my gosh.
And it was the cutest thing. And I think I was even in the news. So hopefully, if you're nervous, that doesn't happen. That kind of snowball.
Now they're like, I'm not
Don't bring your toddler. Don't bring your toddler with you if you don't want to be noticed. And actually, I think, and I ended up speaking with Senator Reeby after, and my daughter now has Senator Reeby's Senate pin.
That's cool.
And then she brought it to school for show and tell and lost it. But good news is I run into Senator Reeby on a regular basis now and was telling her that, and she sent me a new one. So
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And like that story is like Senator Reeby's she's just a person just like us.
Yeah.
That's something I've learned too, is like they seem scary, but they're just other people that have just chosen to commit some of their life to serving the public. And
we need public education friendly people up there.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way to learn and get involved.
And there's a lot of voices, and they're listening to a lot of voices, and there's some really loud voices. And sometimes the more of you there are, the louder you can be without being unprofessional.
Yeah.
But I mean,
So more
and once
people?
we were talking about communication, is opening up those lines of communication and talking to them and saying, hey, we're worried about this bill. Can you change this word or change that? But it's getting there and understanding the process.
And if you're too scared to go to the Capitol, a great way to start is just figuring out who your House representative and your senator are.
Yeah.
And sending them an email, or sending them, a lot of them prefer text messages actually.
Yeah.
Which is great. And that that was really nerve-wracking the first time that I did that. And now they're just like in my phone, and I'll just text them and be like, hey, vote no, or hey, vote yes, and this is why. And
Or even saying, hey, can you explain this bill? Why
Yeah.
are you in favor of this? And then did you notice this word, and maybe change this word? So it's really studying those
Yep.
bills and understanding. So
I mean, the last text I sent was, hey, can you give out some thank you cards for me? Like, and so like I wouldn't have ever, he lives in a different neighborhood than me. I wouldn't have ever actually interacted with him, but now I have. And now, I mean, friends might be, is not a word I would use.
But you're one of his constituents.
I'm one of
so
his constituents, and I know that he's there to listen, and like that he will listen. Well, at least receive the information I give him. But
Well, that's awesome. Well, see, there you go. That's how you started.
that's how you
started.
started.
At LAC, spoke at a hearing, and now you're a commissioner.
And then I joined the commission, and now I'm a commissioner.
That's awesome. Well, you're doing great work. Thank you for all that you're doing. Thanks for being the Family Life Commissioner, and look for that, what's it called?
Table Talk Tuesday.
Table Talk Tuesday, every Tuesday.
Yep, every Tuesday.
So look for that, because I think that's a great idea. You're getting that information out, and
Yeah, it's so great.
it's so good.
And Aimee, I feel like she's a really good example for a lot of us because she just like, she's like, hey, this is what I'm doing, and she puts all her feet in, you know, and just, it's like, hey, this is what, like, we're gonna get this done. This is what we're doing.
And
Like,
she gets it done.
yeah.
Because I think for years we've been wanting to do that. So thanks for getting that out there and pulling your committee in and having them do
She's
it.
a really good example of like how a good committee should work.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's really great. So if you ever need committee tips, just email Aimee.
No,
She's
but,
like, oh!
but she's using those community partners.
I mean, and that was
help.
Angle. I used
Oh dear.
I think I spelled that wrong.
That's alright, my own kids can't even spell my name. It's okay.
That's all right.
Well, we've loved having you on tonight,
Yes,
Aimee.
thank
and
you. Thanks
we
for
look-
having me.
We look forward to more Table Talk Tuesday topics.
Yeah.
And
Thanks for
for
doing that and communicate with your kids because I think that's important.
yeah.
Thanks,
Yep.
Amy.
Well, thank you. So.
Okay, now we get to dance.